Daewonsa Publishing House, a guardian of Korean traditional culture that offers protection and cultivates Korea's cultural pride. In Gyeongbokgung Palace, the main palace of the Joseon dynasty, the palace royal guard changing ceremony is held. The modest appearance of soldiers guarding the palace in splendid military uniform are extremely interesting because it seems to meet the past history on a time machine. Gyeongbokgung Palace was built under the leadership of King Hwaseong, the founder of Joseon, and continues to this day, watching the rise and fall of the 600-year history of Joseon. Among the 5 palaces in Seoul, it preserves the beauty and calm dignity as the main palace. Chipokje, situated in Gancheonggung Palace in Gyeongbokgung Palace, was built as the private library of King Gojong after Gyeongbokgung Palace was rebuilt in June 1868. King Gojong used it as a place to read and drink tea and meet foreign envoys. Chipokje, which has been reopened as a royal study today, houses 350 scanned copies of royal materials, 230 books of Korean literature translated into foreign languages, and 1,000 kinds of books on Korean history and traditional culture. Of these 1,000 kinds, 370 books published by Daewonsa are housed here. As such, Daewonsa Publishing Company, established in 1987, continues to publish books that introduce Korea's unique traditional culture into the world while preserving Korea's cultural self-esteem. Palace and Royal Culture, a collection of Joseon culture that won the grand prize with honor at the 600-year Cultural Product Exhibition in Seoul. Books related to palaces, royal cuisine, and royal relics were published. If India has the Taj Mahal built for the loving wife, Korea has Hwaseong for the loving father. Hwaseong Fortress, built in the late Joseon dynasty, was the only one built in Suwon rather than Seoul. The construction of Hwaseong was prepared in earnest from the 17th year of King Cheongjo, started in January the following year and was completed in 1796, 2.5 years later. The total length of the fortress walls is about 5.4 kilometers, which is 4 kilometers long than the originally planned. The area is 375,145 square meters in the designated area and 13,520 square meters in the protected area. Hwaseong is a palace used by King Cheongjo, the 22nd king of the Joseon dynasty, to visit the tomb of his father, Crown Prince Changhon, who died as a victim in the factional strife of the court. Cheongjo occasionally left Seoul for 10 years and stayed in Hwaseong as often as 13 times. Bongsudang was the place where King Cheongjo's mother, Lady Haegyeonggung Hong, held a 60th birthday party. At that time, the 60th birthday party was organized to invite the elderly living in Suwon. King Cheongjo had a grand plan to leave Seoul, found a city in Hwaseong to serve as the national capital, and demonstrate his independent political acumen. However, due to the sudden death of King Cheongjo in June 1800, Hwaseong was left as an empty detached palace that was no longer used. Hwaseong Fortress is the last palace built in Joseon dynasty, and its original form is well preserved and well restored. Hwaseong Fortress is a beautiful castle that survived intact in the world and is considered one of the paragon of fortress architecture. It was registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in December 1997 and is loved by people around the world. The construction equipment and blueprint used to build Hwaseong Fortress was drawn by painters and handed down as a book, Hwaseong 성역 의궤. Daewonsa Publishing Company, in celebration of the 220th anniversary of the construction of Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon in 2016, published UNESCO World Heritage. This book was presented to many countries and the people who visited Hwaseong Fortress at that time around the world. Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon exists in the city center where the past and the present coexist. The architecture is not just there without a soul, but it exists with a long, rich, and fascinating history. The value continues to increase, for it is used as a favorite space for citizens. UNESCO World Heritage, where you can meet Suwon Hwaseong Fortress in the flesh, and Joseon's Palace series. Royal cuisine, and books on royal relics are recommended to foreign publishers.